Good afternoon then, and welcome to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the big game of the day, Chelsea against Manchester United. Will Michael Carrick get his second win as Manchester United caretaker boss against the Chelsea side that seemed to be going really well under Thomas Tuchel? We've got the man to find out the answer to that question, and with a big surprise in the Manchester United lineup as well. Let's hand over to your match commentator. It's John B. John Stoddard, aka JB. Over to you, my friend.
John B. Thanks very much indeed, Russ. That's probably one of the slickest handovers I've had in many years. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Stamford Bridge. Very cold and chilly, but mercifully it's not snowing unlike at Burnley. But I won't go into that too much because I'll start getting on my soapbox. But what a match we've got in prospect here as we await the teams here at Stamford Bridge. And I'll run through the sides, but I can tell you there's no Harry Maguire through suspension, and Cristiano Ronaldo is dropped to the bench. Because of the suspension to Maguire, Bruno Fernandes will skip at the side today. And of course, Romelu Lukaku is amongst the Chelsea subs. But I'm going to come very much to the starting lineups in a second as Manchester United now make their way out onto the field as Michael Carrick in temporary charge. They're still trying to get an interim boss at Manchester United following Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's sacking when he was beaten 4-1 by Watford. But Carrick, of course, got off to a good start in the Champions League, winning earlier this week. So they'll be hoping for something similar today. But anyway, let me give you the two sides as the teams now finally start to come out of the tunnel. Let me give you the Chelsea lineup. They're going to play a 3-4-2-1, I believe, with Edouard Mendy in goal, then a back three today of Antonio Rudiger, Thiago Silva, and Trevor Chalobah gets an opportunity to prove his worth again. And then it's Marcos Alonso, Jorginho, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Reece James in as the sort of a midfield four. And they're going to go three up top, we believe, with Timo Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Akin Ziyech up front. On the bench, it's Kepa Arrizabalaga, Christensen, Azpilicueta, who is actually the club captain. Incidentally, Jorginho skippers Chelsea today. Ross Barkley, Christian Pulisic, Niguez, Mason Mount, Kai Havertz, and Romelu Lukaku. For Manchester United, they're going to play a 4-3-1-2 formation, we're told, with David De Gea in goal. And then it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Victor Lindelof, Eric Bailly, and Alex Telles across the back. No Harry Maguire, as I say, through suspension. And then it's Fred, Matic, McTominay, and then Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, and Jadon Sancho. We're almost ready to rock and roll here at Stamford Bridge as the players will take the customary knee. I'll give you the substitutes for United in just a second. In fact, I'll give them now. Henderson, Jones, Dalot, Mata, Lingard, Van der Beek, Ronaldo, Martial, and Greenwood. The referee is Anthony Taylor from Greater Manchester as the players take the knee. And we'll get underway. The players taking the knee, of course, in light of racism in football and hopefully in dispute against racism in football or any walk of life, then we don't want to see that in football. There is no room for racism. So we're underway. And, of course, don't forget the Premier League Rainbow Laces initiative, of course, that football is available to all, even to promote LBGT, whatever it is, but to promote equals in football as well. So the Rainbow Laces initiative is in full place, and that will be continued during the midweek games on Wednesday, which, of course, the Merseyside Derby will be one of our live featured matches, of course, on the TCO. So we're underway then, and we've had about 30 seconds, and it's Chelsea in possession on the right-hand side. Manchester United, both teams in traditional colours, incidentally. We've had 50 seconds, actually. Both teams in traditional colours. Red for Manchester United with white shorts. Chelsea all blue with white stockings, blue shorts as well. And it's Rudiger getting a long ball forward, cut out there by Telles. And now Patenka gets it on the right-hand side. Chelsea now battling for it. Remember, Chelsea 4 wins in their last 5. And Manchester United, in stark contrast, 5 defeats in their last 5. Although there was that 3-0 win against Tottenham 3 or 4 games ago, which stopped the rot for a spell. And then obviously they've had some demoralising defeats, none more so than at Watford last week when they were totally outclassed and outplayed by 4 goals to 4-1 last weekend. So it's going to be a tough assignment really for United today. As Werner gets the ball forward, and it's Hudson-Odoi on the edge of the area, challenged there by Lindelof on the edge, and I think this could be a good game here as Hudson-Odoi plays the ball in there, and there's a shot here from Ziyech on the turn from around 7 or 8 yards just to the right of goal, or to the left of goal, Robert. First real chance for Chelsea. Good turn from Ziyech, created half a yard, got a little deflection, I think, off Lindelof, which made it very awkward for David De Gea, who was at fault for at least a couple of those goals. Yeah, it takes a big deflection, and De Gea just having to get on the ball there in the centre of his goal. And United making some big calls today. No Cristiano Ronaldo in the starting lineup. He's amongst the substitutes this afternoon. And as day turns to dusk here now, down in West London, we on the TC Hub have got a priceless game for you today. We earlier today, Manchester City against West Ham, that finished in Manchester City's favour. And of course, Brentford won 1-0 against Everton, and no such problems for Leicester, beating Claudio Ranieri's Watford 4-2. Here's a chance there for Hudson-Odoi! Oh, he's putting wide in the right-hand post! And he knows what an opportunity that might have been. I think De Gea may have saved that as well. It was a long ball forward, and it was a flick on here by Alonso into Odoi's path. Callum Hudson-Odoi, he got away from Lindelof, who's made a poor start for me. And David De Gea has bailed out his centre-back with the left hand, with the left foot actually. Gets a stretched left leg and turns it out for a corner. In comes the corner from the far side, headed away. And Hudson-Odoi now can knock it back. And here he is again now, right-hand side. The referee spotted something. There's a man down inside the area. It's a United player. And it's Bruno Fernandes who's laid on his back there on the floor. And this is not what Michael Carrick, the caretaker manager, wants. He's holding his lower back, which, let's be fair, it can be quite a painful experience, let's be honest. Here's it takes a clap there on the back there from Rudiger, and they are painful ones when you get them on the back. Bruno, the captain for the day. Being tended to there by the medical staff. At least I can report that the Portuguese is on his feet. And he's just trotted off to the far side. And of course, have a drop ball, which Chelsea will play the ball to the halfway line. And Rudiger, and we can now get going again with Chalobah. Here is Rudiger back to Thiago Silva, who's really just slotting very, very well on that in that centre back, three-man centre back. Done really well since Tuchel's come to the club. Fred has been fouled by Ziyech. Free kick to Manchester United, 10 yards from halfway inside their own half. Thomas Tuchel there. Of course, the last home game was a 1-1 draw with, funnily enough, Burnley. And Burnley deserved something there. They had chances to win that game, Chelsea. Just didn't take them, and Burnley in the end through Matty Vydra punished them and got a 1-1 out of it. It was a good result for Burnley, really. Just couldn't back that up with that draw against Palace last week, and an entertaining one it was too. Anyway, free throw into Chelsea. Alonso's going to take it. He goes back to Rudiger, onto Thiago. Now can Trevoh Chalobah reach this one? He can. Good ball onto Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Over towards the far side, and that's Reece James. Chalobah now keeps it in play. Picks out his teammate, which is Thiago Silva. He goes to the left-hand side, and Rudiger gets it in from halfway along. Ball forward, looking towards Ziyech. And he's turned away well, but I think he fouled his man in the build-up there. And a free kick has been given to Manchester United. It was a push there on Werner, and it was Werner who was darting in on goal, rather than Hakim Ziyech. But it's a free kick anyway to Manchester United, and it's De Gea, who's made 2 good saves already in this opening 6.5 minutes almost played. Live commentary here, alternate commentary here with JB, John Stuttard on the TC Hub, JDAT Football, JB Sports. Storm FM, TCM2, and we're also on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch, of course. And of course, our Twitter account is at Commentary Live 1. Commentary Live 1 is our Twitter handle if you want to check that out. And of course, we have a Facebook page, www.facebook.com/The Commentary Hub. Self-explanatory, really. And of course, big mention to Melon Streaming App for partnering us for the season. You can find their app you can find what they do at www.melonstreamingapp.com. And of course, it's we played just over 7 minutes there at Stamford Bridge in the big game of the day. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, the final game of the weekend. Of course, one was called off earlier today at Turf Moor, believe it or not. And if you want to hear Sean Dyche's reaction to the cancellation of the Spurs game, you can do so on JB Sports, but only after this game, please. We want you to stay your attention on this game, because Chelsea have won a free kick in a very promising position. Foul there by former Chelsea player Matic on Ziyech, which puts Manchester United's backs up and well and truly up against the wall now. We've got the Merseyside derby coming in midweek, and I'll be bringing you alternate commentary on that Merseyside derby. First one I've ever done, actually, live. So I'm looking forward to doing that one on Wednesday night. That game at Goodison Park, 8:15 kickoff. So we'll be on the air around about 8 o'clock on all TCM platforms. But at the moment, it's a Chelsea free kick. Reece James is going to take it from the far side, the right-hand side, and it goes towards Rudiger. Header away there by may have been Shaw. The ball, Wan-Bissaka, Robert. Sorry, it was Scott McTominay, I should say. Luke Shaw isn't in the side either. Been used to having him into the team. Here's Karen Hudson-Odoi now, down the left-hand side. Back in field this time to Ziyech. Now a chance here for Werner. Ziyech is on the overlap and has made his way to the middle. Werner's won a corner for Chelsea on the left-hand side. And we've had 9 minutes. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, but Chelsea making all the running yet at the moment. Can't remember Mendy in the first few portion of the game having to be forced to make any meaningful save as Alonso takes the corner from the left-hand side. And it goes towards the back post and it's headed into the arms of De Gea, who takes it at his left-hand post. And for now, Manchester United, from their point of view, the danger is averted somewhat. As we go past the 9.5 minutes, I've got all sorts of thermals on at the moment. It's bitterly cold here in West London tonight. But I believe it's been snowing up in the north part of the country. I know Russ up in Manchester today had the snow to contend with in his game. You may have heard earlier between Manchester City and West Ham, two of the top 4 teams. That's a foul there on McTominay, the Scot, and a free kick to Manchester United about 10 yards from the edge of their own box. Matic is going to take it, not from the right position, as we see Cristiano Ronaldo there. Darren Fletcher there, you might just spotted in front of him. Former teammate, of course. And a lot of people say Ronaldo is sort of to blame for where Manchester United are at the moment, trying to accommodate him. But there's Romelu Lukaku. He's come back from a long injury layoff. Really hit the ground running at Stamford Bridge. He cost him quite a lot of money as well, but he comes on and scores the winner. Of course, a former Manchester United player himself, didn't really hit it off as well as he would have liked at Old Trafford. And of course, there was the Mourinho factor at the time to consider, and he was one of the many Man United stars at the time that when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was in charge, he managed to offloaded him, I think, a couple of years ago to Inter Milan, had a couple of good years in Italy, and then sort of came and decided to come back to his first club. Of course, Chelsea was always his first club, so it might be nice to put one on his former employees at Old Trafford. As regards the next permanent Manchester United manager, there's been a lot of talk about Pochettino becoming the next manager of Manchester United. In a press conference, he allegedly said he'd be interested. The way that PSG played on Tuesday night in the Champions League against Manchester City probably backed up that theory, really. because Messi and Co were absolutely dissected by a very rampant Manchester City that night. Here's Fernando on the chase, but out comes De Gea about 10 yards outside his own penalty area as he hoisted that one clear towards the far side. Beard he came as a young, unshaven, shaven Spaniard. Now he's looking quite a bit more of a stocky character. Really worked on his strength, because when he first came to England some 8 years ago, he wasn't a strong boy and he was easily out-muscled in certain areas. Didn't fancy the physicality, but I think he's beefed himself up a little bit with his body, and he's more physically acclimatised to the rigours of English football, David De Gea, now, as Hudson-Odoi tries to get the ball back. Very unlucky, actually, Hudson-Odoi, to miss out on the last England squad that played against Albania and San Marino. But he was, I think he said one thing too many about Gareth Southgate in the press, and that's why Hudson-Odoi didn't make the squad. But if he keeps impressing and keeps playing football, then he could be included for the World Cup warm-up games, which obviously start in March. And of course, the dreaded Nations League then comes into being as well at some point as well, which I think is, we have to get rid of that Nations League. I think it's an absolute white elephant, if I'm being honest. Anyway, here's Chalobah trying to get something going here for Chelsea. Here he is now. Finds Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Real opportunity to see what Loftus-Cheek can do here as the European champions go off on another attack. And it's Rudiger now down the left. Feeds Alonso on the overlap. Alonso gets to the byline, whizzes it across, but it's knocked away by Alex Tevez. But it's back with Reece James now for Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech has stayed on side here on the right-hand channel. Back to Reece James again. James looking for Chalobah. Chalobah now to Thiago Silva. Patient football this from Chelsea. They've got United in their pocket. They just need to pick it now. Here's James again. Gets it out to the far side. And here is Reece James. Onto Ziyech. Ziyech now turns away. 14 gone. 0-0 here if you've just joined us on the TC Hub. Here's Ziyech, but Bailly stuck to his task very well. But the ball is back with Ziyech. Now Trevor Chalobah. Chalobah now, as Chelsea try to pepper that United penalty box. Looking for this opening goal here at Stamford Bridge. 14 and a half minutes gone. Can Chelsea make the breakthrough here with Loftus-Cheek? Loftus-Cheek. And he's out to Rudiger, who's played it in towards Alonso. Hudson-Odoi, back to Alonso. Offside given, in fact. Linesman Adam Nunn putting the flag up there on the near side, and decreeing that was offside, on the far side rather, decreeing that was offside against Marcos Alonso as he tried to make an overlapping run for Rudiger. So we've got a quarter of an hour gone. Chelsea have had two good opportunities so far in this game. David De Gea has saved on both occasions as it kept Manchester United in the hunt. Manchester United struggling without Harry Maguire. No Luke Shaw, he's not in the side either. Maguire out through suspension, having been sent off quite comically at Watford last week. And the 2 yellow cards were warranted, by the way. It was just the way it came about, really, that probably annoyed him, really, because, there were 2 yellow cards that, let's be frank, were easily avoidable. Ball had a play on the near side there, and it's a Manchester United ball. In fact, I think the free kick has been given. Has it been given to? Is it a Chelsea ball, Manchester United ball, or I don't know. It is a free kick though. It looks like Manchester United have got the decision. Wan-Bissaka now. We've got the win probability in play. 43% say Chelsea will win, 30% the draw, and 27% think Manchester United might win. That's the win probability computer with Oracle Crowd, and I think at this early stage it's very hard to estimate how this game's going to go. But the way things are going at the moment, you'd say Chelsea would be in the box seat. But to say things like that and then for it all to be turned on its head would be, football does have a funny way of making fools of anybody who predicts anything that might happen. including commentators and supporters alike. As a former Chelsea player once said, who's now unfortunately not with us, it's one former Chelsea player from the 50s and 60s used to say, it's a funny old game. It's not been a funny old game so far if you're a Manchester United fan at the moment. 4 defeats in 5. The only victory really in that 5 being 3-0 win against Tottenham, incidentally, in London. So they've got good form from London coming into this game. But United, it's a case of capital gains. Michael Carrick looking for his second win as caretaker boss. Former Manchester United player, of course. Here come Chelsea now with Callum Hudson-Odoi from Alonso's pass. Left-hand side. Comes towards the area. Play back to the edge of the area. Sic tries to curl one into the net with his right foot, and he curls it just over the bar and into the shed for a goal kick to Manchester United. And with 17 and a half minutes gone, or just over, in fact, it's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. And we've played nearly 17 and a quarter minute, 3/4 minutes actually, of this first half. So rapidly heading up towards 18 minutes. And of course, we'll try and get some comments as well from you guys today. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the stream, please no nasty comments. We're still very, very suspect about keyboard warriors in this day and age. No bad comments are allowed, and you will be. There are moderators on most of the YouTube platforms that we operate on. JB Sports has about 7 moderators that can be on at any one time. So any comments that are bad will be ousted out, and you will not be appearing on any of the chats. So just be warned, everybody. We are a Be Kind society, and we expect you to be the same to us commentators as well. So please keep your comments clean. We are a family show. This is Antonio Rudiger now for Chelsea as they try and launch another attack. Finds Trevor Chalobah on the far side. Ball out towards the far side now. Reece James has possession. Back to Chalobah once again. Lovely football this from Chelsea. They're looking pretty good at the moment. They just need that breakthrough just to settle a few nerves and to put Manchester United's backs well and truly up against the wall. Remember, Chelsea 4 wins from their last 5. The only blot on the copybook being a draw against Burnley. Here's Alonso towards the edge of the area. Alonso tries to twist and turn Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka doing terrifically well. And this is better from Manchester United. Defensively, really wanted free kick there. Foul on Jadon Sancho, who's probably robbed about 5 times. It was a foul by Rudiger, but I'm not sure if Jadon Sancho had any need to roll about 4 or 5 times over to gain the free kick, because he'd already won the free kick in any case. The Rudiger challenge wasn't great. This is the opportunity before that. Wan-Bissaka actually doing very well there against Alonso, and then the foul there. As I said, Jadon Sancho, I don't think had to roll about 6, 7, 8 times to get the decision. He'd already got it just for the tackle alone. 20 gone, 20 minutes that is, here on all TC Hub platforms, including JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM and TC Hub 2. We're also on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch, and we've got Manchester United away at Chelsea here for you. Alternate commentary coming up for you this afternoon. With me, JB John Stuttard. The score at the moment is 0-0 between the two teams. Manchester United down in around about 7th or 8th place. Could do with a big win today, considering that Spurs haven't been playing today because of their cancellation at Turf Moor this afternoon. And that will be a nice incentive. Here's Bruno Fernandes. First chance to really see him as an attacking force here. And he gets the ball back. Bruno Fernandes shoots right-footed, but shoots well wide of the left-hand post, well wide of target, but gets a seal of approval from the interim manager, Michael Carrick, former West Ham and Tottenham player as well. Geordie by birth, Michael Carrick, incidentally. Born in Newcastle. Spent by his hometown club, went to West Ham, went through the academy under graduated to the first team under Harry Redknapp, and he's never looked back since. Funnily enough, when he first came to Manchester United, Carrick, in 2000, and I think it was 6, he was said by He was told what he was expected to do at Manchester United by the then manager Alex Ferguson, Sir Alex Ferguson, I should say. And Carrick's response was, "Well, to be as good as Chelsea," and it got a very lukewarm response from Alex Ferguson. Meanwhile, here's Reece James for Chelsea. Cross comes in towards Alonso. It might reach him, but his first touch was so heavy, and the ball raced out of play for a goal kick. But Chelsea starting to make things happen as we go to the halfway mark of the first half. Still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. It's a real winter's day. No wind or snow anywhere here in West London this afternoon. Maybe Wan-Bissaka got a little nick on it, which sort of made it very difficult for Alonso to get on the end. But I'll tell you what, it's pretty good. 71% possession, Chelsea to 29 Manchester United. 5 attempts, Chelsea to United's 1, which shows how dominant that Tuchel's men have been in terms of possession. But United's holding on in at 0-0 as we come up to the 23rd minute. We're just 20 seconds shy of the 23rd minute. Still no score if you've just joined us in all TCO platforms. Don't forget to leave your comments and keep your comments clean. And in fact, Mike says, "Hi, John B. Welcome to the commentary hub." Paul James is abroad saying good morning all. So he's abroad at the moment. Must be somewhere abroad. But hello, Paul. And Mike says, "Looking forward to an interesting game. Hopefully there's a few goals for me to commentate on." Let's hope so, Mike. Let's hope so. From one colleague to another. 23 gone. And it's still 0-0 if you've just joined us on the TC Hub. And here it's Lindelof getting a long ball forward, looking towards Marcus Rashford. He'll come for Bruno Fernandes here. And he made a good dash there. Couldn't pick out Rashford. And now Chelsea could break. It's a good game. This just needs a goal to liven it up a bit. Here's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Chelsea do look the likely scorers. If you were to put me on the spot. Here's Loftus-Cheek. Thought about the shot for a second. Finds Jorginho. But the Italian international gives the ball away. Of course, Italy have got to go through that playoff, of course, in the European Championships, draw of which has been made. 2 rounds of qualifying. So they've got to play North Macedonia first. Here's Loftus-Cheek. Here's Hudson-Odoi. Boy towards the far post, headed on by Werner, but it's wide. And the right-hand post and a goal kick to Manchester United, who are holding in very firmly, I should say, as Tuchel there. He's got his snood on, he's got his hat on, he's got his gloves on, he's got his big thermal coat on. Bit of a big softy, really, Tuchel, but he's a tactical genius, that is for sure. Although the weather isn't for the faint-hearted when you're down south, which no one is, are very much used to it. Here's Alonso now. Alonso has got possession, goes back to Trevor Chalobah from Thiago's pass. Of course, we'll keep you once we get a break in play. We'll keep you across the chat as we go along. David Zeleny says hello, or hello as he says. Hello to you, David, or David, whichever it might be. But we're happy to be coming to you live here across the world, alternately here on the TCR. Ball out towards the far side, and Chelsea have got men forward. Werner in the middle. Ziyech making a good run. James is there on the elbow. Oh, and James's cross. It went whizzing across the 6-yard area, but as I say, there was nobody in blue really gambling in there. And there may have been a possibility of offside if one of them did try. But Chelsea are the likely scorers at the moment. Ziyech with the initial run, and then James across. I think it needed to be pulled back towards the penalty spot, I think, from Reece James, but he couldn't have known there was nobody in the penalty area as he whizzed that across the face of goal. We've had 26 minutes of the first half, and still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0, if you're listening. Good evening. Well, a very good evening to you all. Good morning if you're in America or North America, and good evening and evening to you all if you're in different parts. An hour in front in France, an hour in front in Italy and Spain, and that type of thing. Welcome to you all here. It's overnight in Australia. of course. In fact, I think it's the middle of the night in Australia and New Zealand. If you're listening to those two places, I know Kevin Benson, who's a Crystal Palace fan, who's a resident subscriber to JB Sports, so might be listening in. If you are up, Kevin, and you're listening, give my regards to New Zealand. Free kick has been given against Chelsea. It's Telles being challenged there by James. After a good start, the game's just got a little bit bitty. And at the moment, Michael Carrick will be the happier of the managers because they wouldn't have come to Chelsea with that much expectation. The way Chelsea have been performing, and you look at the form and everything else, it's been remarkable. But it's still 0-0, but there's a long way to go yet in this game. Previous Premier League head-to-heads interesting at the moment. Not too many head-to-heads that are being lost by Manchester United when you look at what they've achieved historically over the Premier League era. But they've played 58 games both sides since the Premier League was formed way back in '92. Chelsea have won 18 of those games. Manchester United 17 wins with 23 the other 23 draws. So Chelsea having the upper hand in terms of an all-time Premier League record. It's quite remarkable considering that what Manchester United have achieved has been unbelievably brilliant, mainly from Sir Alex Ferguson, of course. No Premier League lifted for 8 years since Sir Alex retired in 2013, of course. 4 previous managers have tried to win back the Premier League, but have failed. David Moyes lasted 8 months. Louis van Gaal lasted 2 years, but did win the FA Cup. And then Mourinho had a go, and there's a little bit of there's an old-fashioned legs going in there for the challenge there. Ball was there to be won, and there was about 5 or 6 different people going in there with their legs to try and win the ball. United got it out, but they've conceded a free kick, which actually was quite remarkable, if truth be told. Well, we're nearly approaching the half-hour mark, and still no sign of any scoring being achieved here by either side. Hudson-Odoi has been challenged, so a free kick or throw-in has been given. We've gone past the 29th minute, going rapidly up towards the half-hour. As the ball is now threaded out to the far side, and it's Trevor Chalobah now who takes possession on the far side. And Loftus-Cheek back to Chalobah once again. Now Rudiger has it on the right. Of course, we've got Friday Night Football for you. Again, I'll be the fox in the commentary box, as I will be at Goodison Park. We'll be at the Gateshead International Stadium for FA Cup action. Alternate commentary on Gateshead against Charlton Athletic. And I'll be in the commentary box to bring you that one on Friday night. So don't forget to join us for FA Cup action next weekend, of course, across all the TCF platforms. Mike, Russ, and of course, as Rudiger tries to shot. Oh, it's caught De Gea out. I don't know if it crossed the line. The referee's checking the watch. It's a corner. He checked the watch. Rudiger absolutely caught us by surprise. And De Gea, in making that save, has injured his elbow. Let's have a look at this again. It's hit this with some ferocity there. And somehow De Gea, let's have a look at it. This is inside the goal. De Gea's rolling back across. Hits the bar. I think he's collided with the post. He's hit the crossbar. That's what's happened. I thought he'd saved it initially there, De Gea. I must confess, I thought he hit the bar. I didn't think he'd hit the bar. I thought De Gea had saved it, and his hand collided with the crossbar, but to no avail there. But it remains goalless here at Stamford Bridge. We played 31 minutes, and in fact a flag was up, so a free kick has been awarded to Manchester United, which De Gea now takes. 3/4 of the way down the field. Red has been dispossessed once again, and Loftus-Cheek running forward. He's been hounded out of it again, and now McTominay knocks it forward. Chance here for Bruno Fernandes, and he goes down, but went down too much in installments, and referee Taylor didn't want to know. Here's Werner now down the right-hand side. Chelsea now looking for this opening goal, and his right-footed shot was well blocked there by Lindelof, and it's a corner again to Chelsea, left-hand side. We're getting some good game here. The game's starting to pick up a little bit at more of a pace. It's Chelsea's third corner today. It's still a very cold late afternoon here as the clock is ticked past 5 o'clock now in Britain. Greenwich Mean Time now, as the cross comes in now, or the corner comes in from Marcos Alonso. It was headed out by Manchester United, and every man was back in his own half as well, as Chelsea will be able to get the ball back towards that United area, they hope. With Hakim Ziyech. There he is now. Ziyech's cross across the face. Hudson-Odoi will keep it alive. Here is Callum Hudson-Odoi. He'll run at Wan-Bissaka, and he does well there, and he gets the cross in, and it comes off a defender. It's a corner kick to Chelsea again. That's their fourth of the match. Chelsea turning up the power again after a little quiet spell. Chelsea attacking the shell where mostly Manchester United fans are populated behind. We've got half the shed end over 2 tiers as the corner comes in. Alonso into the penalty area. Header comes in. It might come to Werner on the far side. Ziyech might hit one around outside the box. Comes in there towards Werner. Werner's crossed into the danger zone, and United desperate defending. Thiago might win this header. The ball bounces, and it's knocked away by Manchester United. We've had 33 minutes, still goalless, but it's Chelsea knocking on the door. Reece James now. It's all Chelsea at the moment. Callum Hudson-Odoi cut out again by Bruno Fernandes. Throwing to Chelsea midway side, the Manchester United half on the left-hand side. 0-0 on the TC Hub, JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, and TCO2. We're also on Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. Live alternate commentary of Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. We're inside the last 11 minutes of the first half, and it's a throw-in now to be taken by Wan-Bissaka. Been an amazing first half so far, but still no breakthrough. I haven't had a 9-0 yet in TC Hub since I started commentating for the TC Hub way back in June this year when we started the European Championship coverage. And here's Bally getting the ball forward. 8 shots, 8 attempts to 1, 70-30 in Chelsea's favour. Ball knocked back to David De Gea. United looking a bit more stouter in defence, even though they're missing Harry Maguire, but they've had a few hairy moments. Keep your comments rolling in, folks. Keep them clean, please. 10 minutes to half-time then. No goals here at the bridge. Winslow. Oh, here's a chance now. Here's Hudson-Odoi from a misplaced point. Hudson-Odoi shoots, and De Gea having to leap across to his right-hand side. It was Bruno Fernandes who carelessly gave the ball away. Straight to Callum Hudson-Odoi here, edge of the area. Bit of a team effort as it turned out, and De Gea having to scamper across to his right-hand side as he looked. Covered it in no problem, and Manchester United for the moment anyway survive. Chelsea get possession back. Just want to cross-promote something, if that's okay, that Chris Whiteman's channel, the CW Sports Network, of course, Raven West, the Rise of Raven West Series 2 premiered last night, and you can watch that at the CW Sports Network channel. The Rise of Raven West with Mick Schumacher and Nico Hulkenberg as the new driver lineup for the Raven West team. Trevor Walker and Trevor Brundle of Trevor Sports fame. If you want to watch that a bit later on after you've listened to this commentary, it's a good watch, let me tell you. An hour's worth, but believe me, it's worth a watch. If you're a virtual Formula One nut, then it's just the thing for you. In the football, it's 0-0 in real life. The ball back to Edouard Mendy, that's probably his first touch of the ball. He's had about 37 minutes, and that's probably been his first touch in the entire game. He's had so little to do, you wouldn't have credited it, to be quite honest with you. And it's been that sort of half, really, where Chelsea really have not given Manchester United too much of a sniff. And I think Chelsea will be disappointed. There's an injury there. Looks like Bruno Fernandes is down again. Or is it Fred? Fred it is. 267 passes to 126 in Chelsea's favour. And the percentage, Chelsea up on the high 80s in the passing accuracy. United mid-70s in percentages on the passing. And we'll read a comment from Paul in a minute. In fact, we'll read it now because Chelsea have the ball back anyway. Manchester United fans need to reel in their expectations at this time. For those that remember the pre-Ferguson years in the 70s and 80s, of course, Tommy Docherty and Ron Atkinson and all that lot. They couldn't win it, of course. Before Ferguson came, they hadn't won the championship for something like 25 years. And Ferguson had a few years, of course, as well. But there was this old joke running that United hadn't won the league for that amount of time, and it came to fruition in 1993, although they nearly lost it that year, of course, to Aston Villa. 38 gone then. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. And of course, at half-time, if you want to just switch across to JB Sports, you can listen to Sean Dyche's reaction on the Burnley versus Tottenham game being called off this afternoon due to heavy adverse weather conditions, snow and wind and everything else. They did have the undersole heating. Before anybody asks about the undersole heating, they do have it at Turf Moor, and they had it switched on, but you can't legislate for what happened, and it's been called off on really health and safety ground lines, which, well, I won't say any further than that. Here's Rudiger now playing the ball in. And the game's had everything apart from a goal so far. Chalobah challenging hard with Fred. And Ziyech has got the ball and there's no foul. Ball played across. Wan-Bissaka gets it away on the edge of his 6-yard area. Reece James shot a shot and just wide. And it was a wonderful play that from Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech got in there, but it was good body work, good movement. This from Chalobah. He got the better of Fred here. Out-muscled him there. Ziyech with a lovely ball across, which no more Chelsea player was there. And then Reece James with the right foot just hits it wide of the right-hand post of David De Gea. And behind for a goal kick for Manchester United. They were holding in there firmly as we come up towards the last 5.5 minutes plus injury time at the end of the first half. And then Russ Verdi, who's back up north, Manchester will give you the full lowdown of the halftime scores. Or the other scores that have gone before. He was been commentating on Manchester City's game against West Ham. He'll tell you all about that. And he'll tell you about an important win there for Brentford as well in the against Everton, not too far down the road from here. And of course, another important 3 points for Leicester. And they needed those points against Watford, who'd been on a bit of a high after beating Manchester United a week ago. So we're inside that last 5 minutes. And it's still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0 in the big game of the day. Final match of the weekend. Of course, Burnley and Spurs didn't take place today, as you well know. Here's McTominay in possession now, picking up a loose ball here and getting the ball forward, up towards a chance here now for Sancho. First touch was heavy, and out came quick as lightning. Edouard Mendy to take the ball. No problem there. And it still remains Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0 with just over 4 minutes of the first half plus injury time to go here. Chelsea again just passing the ball around again very patiently. But Michael Carrick will be the more happier of the two managers, I would hazard a guess at the moment. It's been very hard to see what can be done here, but you never know in this game. As I say, football's got a funny way of showing its worth. Chelsea have had all the play and all the chances, And sometimes if you get towards the business end of a game and you haven't buried your opponents and the opponents get a chance and score, well, that's usually always the case. There's a message come through, and I'll read that in a second. Here's Jorginho. In fact, well, let's have a look at that night now. Have United had a shot on goal this half? To be quite honest with you, I don't think they have, to be perfectly honest. They've been on the defensive for most of it, but they've conceded a free kick here with McTominay. And he's having a bit of a set-to here with Rudiger, and the referee's just whistling now. And maybe the tension is getting to the players a little bit. There's so much at stake here. United don't want to lose today. I don't think they've had a shot at goal or on target as such in the game so far, to answer your question. And they've given away a free kick as well, almost on halfway inside the actual Chelsea half. It's Chelsea doing all the pressing here at the moment, and it's been very. It's been, so the Manchester United have made their way through. And it's the ball out on the far side here. And Fred, we're just having one or two technical difficulties, but we've got the stream back we've got the pictures back of the game. And here come Manchester United. That's a nice ball out to the far side. This is Rashford. Now then, real opportunity here. Can they get their first shot on goal? It's Marcus Rashford now. He's played it into Fred. Fred inside the area. He goes down. The referee doesn't want to know. Fred has completely lost his temper there. He's having one or two goals at 1 or 2 of the Chelsea players. Jorginho there trying to calm him down. Of course, Bar will have a look at it, but I'm not sure that's a penalty. Let's have a look. He makes Rudiger there. Now he's looking for that. He knows he's not going to get past Rudiger every day of the week, and he goes down so softly. And I'm afraid that is a genuine attempt to calm the referee, and I don't think that should be allowed in the game. Really disappointing there from Fred. Why do players have to try and calm the referee or try and force the referee into giving a decision which was not there? And even if he did try to con his way into a penalty, I'm sure VAR would have checked it and it would have been taken away from him, because in that respect, it makes the referee's job that little bit more easier. Alonso wants a free kick now. And he's going to get it. And the yellow card is going to be brandished to Scott McTominay, I think. And now temper's just starting to get a bit fray here. There's the incident again. Jorginho playing it across. Yeah, it's just a slight tug on Alonso, but enough to warrant the referee to give a free kick to the constellation of Scott McTominay there, as we go to the last 30 seconds of the normal time here at the end of the first half. On JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, TC Hub 2, Periscope, Twitter and Twitch, and of course the TC Hub itself. Commentary, live alternate commentary of Chelsea against Manchester United. We've had the 45 minutes, and whilst they're lining up that free kick, Fred has been such a liability for United. And, JB, with the diving easily solved, stronger punishments by the FA. I'm not concerned, but I'm not convinced they want to deal with it. That's a question for another time. It's a free kick, comes in and it's palmed away at the right-hand post by David De Gea. He's certainly been Manchester United's hero in the first half. Some really important saves and interventions from that. And this is the latest one from a Reece James free kick, which was going straight in. It didn't get a nick off anybody before it reached De Gea. And a corner now. We're into stoppage time. We've had 40 seconds. We've not had any indication how long it's going to be. As the corner comes in towards the near post, it's on the roof of the net. And I think it might have been Trevor Chalobah. The whistle is in fact gone from referee Anthony Taylor. So no breakthrough for either Manchester United or Chelsea. But it's Chelsea that have been doing about 99.9% of the attacking. United doing quite defensively. Being the away side, you would expect that, but they found David De Gea in supreme form, 2 or 3 top quality saves to keep them at bay. United have not really threatened too much as an attacking force, and I think there's plenty of work for Messrs Tuchel and, of course, Carrick to do during the half-time break. Rudiger's hit the bar as well, although De Gea actually tipped it onto the bar. hurt his shoulder, hurt his elbow in doing that actually. But at the moment, no sign in, no let up in the scores. It's still 0-0, and well, who knows what might happen in the second half. As we return you for the next 15 minutes for Russ, I'm going to try and get a drink. But at half time here at Stamford Bridge, no goals. It's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 0. Russ.
Thank you very much there, JB. Great first half commentary, but no goals in the game between Chelsea and Manchester United. Let's run you through what happened earlier in the day in the Premier League. It's Brentford 1, Everton 0. If Burnley versus Tottenham was postponed due to heavy snowfall. Leicester 4, Watford 2. Man City 2, West Ham 1 in the game which I covered earlier on this afternoon. Riyad Mahrez had a goal disallowed in that one before Ilkay Gundogan and then Fernandinho put Man City 2-0 up. And then in the last minute, Manuel Lanzini scored as West Ham pulled a consolation goal back to lead 2-1 at half-time in our game that we're covering right now. It finished, is currently 0-0 between Chelsea and Manchester United. Second 45 minutes is on the way. It's not finished yet. Let me put my teeth back in. In the Championship, it finished Sheffield United 2, Bristol City 0. Life under Paul Heckingbottom is off to a winning start for the Blades this afternoon. We'll get some of the thoughts from the people who's listening along to us as well. In League One, it's finished Ipswich Town 2, Crewe Alexandra 1. Goes from a Ford and Selena, an own goal from the Ford for Ipswich in the first half. Long pulled a goal back for Crewe in the second half, but that wasn't enough for them. Ipswich with the win up to 11th. Crewe remain bottom, which is good news if you're a Doncaster Rovers supporter listening to us this afternoon. In the Premier League 2, the Under-23s League finished Liverpool 3, Leicester 0, Southampton 3, West Bromwich Albion 1. In the Women's FA Cup, some of the results are in, and JB, if you're listening, Burnley women are through to the next round of the FA Women's Cup, beating AFC Fylde by 3-2 earlier. Hashtag United are out. They lost 1-0 to Wimbledon. Hull lost 2-1 to Liverpool Feds. Plymouth are through. They beat St Austell by 4-2. West Brom beat Lincoln by 4-1 in that one as well. Some of the other games, no results in yet. Well, the Leeds game earlier was postponed in the women's due to the weather. In Ligue 1 in France, some results are in. Saint Etienne 1, Paris Saint-Germain 3. Bordeaux 1, Brest 2. Lorient 0, Rennes 2. Monaco 1, Strasbourg 1. Reims 1, Clermont 0. Montpellier 0, Lyon 1 is the scoreline. Montpellier 0, Lyon 1 is the latest score. 58 minutes on the clock there. In the German Bundesliga, Eintracht Frankfurt 2, Union Berlin 1, while RB Leipzig are losing 2-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. In Serie A, Udinese 0, Genoa 0 is a full-time score. AC Milan lost 3-1 to Sassuolo, while Spezia lost 1-0 to Bologna. Latest score in that game, Roma 0, Torino 0, Napoli-Lazio kick-off at 7:45 this evening. In the Dutch Eredivisie, it finished Sparta Rotterdam 0, Ajax 1, FC Twente 0, Feyenoord 0, FC Utrecht 1, Heracles 0, Heerenveen 1, PSV Eindhoven 1, and a 7 with 10 minutes to go in that game. Vitesse versus AZ Alkmaar is a 7 o'clock kickoff. In the Portuguese league, Maritimo 2, Pacos de Ferreira 0, Sporting Lisbon take on Tondela at 6 o'clock, while FC Porto take on Guimarães at 8:30 UK time. In the Russian Premier League, Nizhny Novgorod drew 0-0 with Samara, while Rubin Kazan lost 3-2 to Dynamo Moscow, while CSKA Moscow currently drawing 0-0 with Zenit St Petersburg. In Scotland, Livingston 1, Rangers 3 and Celtic 2. Aberdeen 1, Giovanni Van Bronckhorst gets off to a winning start in the Scottish Premiership with Rangers this afternoon. In La Liga, we've had a few games in La Liga. Real Betis 3, Levante 1, Espanyol 1, Real Sociedad 0. Cadiz versus Atletico Madrid is at 5, so kick off in around about 10 or so minutes time there. While Real Madrid take on Sevilla at 8 o'clock this evening. In the MLS, this evening is Sportus Kansas City v Real Salt Lake and Philadelphia Union versus Nashville. Both Sporting Kansas City game kicks off at 8. Philadelphia Union game kicks off at 10 this evening. So, those are the scores. Let's read some of the comments out there. It's off time, so we'll just go through some of your comments in the chat. Mike says, he's looking forward to an interesting game. He's off. Hopefully, there's going to be a few goals for Mike. Mike's hoping there's going to be a few goals for JB to commentate on the mic on. Paul James, our very good friend, says, I think Man United fans need to reel in their expectation at this time. For those that remember the pre-Ferguson era years in the 70s and 80s, which, to be honest, Paul, I don't. I'm not old enough to remember that. Ushari says, have United had a shot on goal in that first half? And I can tell you, my friend, that the Red Devils of Manchester United did have one goal attempt in that first half, but it wasn't on target. So the answer to your question is no. Paul says, the diving is easily solved with a stronger punishments by the FA, but he's not convinced they will really want to deal with it. Chelsea have played and Paul was also going to say, Chelsea have played very well, and United have been totally on the back for the all in that first half. And I completely agree with you, my friend. I completely agree with you there. And then Mike's just given me the result through from the Stevenage women's match. Some of the games up and down the country have been getting postponed today due to the adverse weather conditions, with that snow, rain, whatever the weather. And he said in the Stevenage game against Loughborough Lightning, it finished Stevenage were beaten 2-0. So he finished Stevenage 0, Loughborough Lightning 2 was a full time score in the Women's FA Cup match this afternoon. Thank you very much there, Mike, for that information. We're getting ready to go back to JB very shortly. So as the teams are out for the second half, we'll head back across, and I'm sure you'll all be looking forward to the second half, and hopefully JB is not cursed by not seeing a goal today. Normally when JB does games for us here on the commentary hub, he normally has goals to talk about, but so far he has 0 goals to talk about, so hopefully that's not going to be the case this afternoon, and hopefully I've not put a curse on you by saying that in the last few minutes as well. So everything should be getting ready for the kickoff again in a few moments as we're watching the matches very soon, and we'll be bringing you some Premier League action in midweek. And yesterday it was a good result for the England Lionesses, who beat Austria by a goal to nil. Nicholas Jones did commentary for that one, and that's up on the channel already if you want to listen to that. But don't all go across and listen to that just yet. Listen to it after this game has finished, and you'll be able to hear that one from Nicholas at the Stadium of Light yesterday, from the match yesterday. So then, We're almost getting ready for the start of the second half very, very shortly. So please do stick with us. We will have second half coverage from the match at Stamford Bridge coming up shortly with JB. As soon as we see the players emerge from the tunnel, that's when we'll head over to JB. So we're going across to JB very, very shortly for the second period. Just awaiting the players to emerge from the tunnel. Unlike at the Etihad earlier, where it's all pretty quiet now, everyone has gone home. I've had no snow at Stamford Bridge to report on, I believe, and there's been no snow in London at all today, I don't think. Well, in fact, I know they've had no snow down in London today because I've got family who live down there and who I've spoken to, and family who's going down to see some shows down there, and I've spoken to them as well, and it's not been snowing down there. Hopefully we'll see the second half kick off shortly. And hopefully during the second half we don't get any snow for JB, so you can have a nice warm afternoon, even though it's cold, and hopefully it's got to be warmed up, ready for the second period between Chelsea and Manchester United. We'll see the two players coming back out very shortly as we get ready for the second half, as we're almost entering December. Is just around the corner now, which also means, let me tell you, coming close, Christmas is around the corner as well. So hopefully you'll enjoy some of the second half that we've got coming up for you, which will see Chelsea take on Manchester United. The players will be heading back out any second. Now we're just getting ready for the second half in a moment or so. We've just looking at another waiting for the players to come out. In fact, we're just waiting to see if the players are getting ready to come back out. I can see Cristiano Ronaldo on the pitch there. He's amongst the substitutes for Manchester United today. I wonder if he will be coming on in the second half. And if he does, I wonder if he'll bag a goal to get Manchester United out of jail, because so far in this game, should I say, in that first half you just heard with JB, Chelsea have been the more dominant team and look more likely to score. Will they get the goals in the second half? Manchester United, or will Chelsea get the goals? Are they? Persistence deserves, because they've been the better side so far. So will they get the goal in the second half to start this game? And because I think once we get a goal, the game will liven up. The players are back out for the second half. It's time for me to hand over to your match commentator for the second half. It's over to you, JB.
Thanks, Ross. That's better. Well, I've had my cup of tea and a four-fingered Kit Kat to warm the old cockles on a chilly night here in West London. And we're all set to go in the second half. No changes from either side, no alterations from either side. So we're back up and running in this second half. Manchester United now attacking the shed end away to my left-hand side, where all their supporters are situated. Chelsea, of course, attacking the Matthew Harding end, of course, named after the Chelsea chairman, who sadly, former Chelsea owner, who sadly died on a helicopter crash way back in 1996. And his money and investment at the time was the foundations for the club it is now. Beautiful stadium, beautiful team now, expensively put together by Roman Abramovich. It's his legacy has never been in vain. And it was nice for them to pay tribute to Matthew Harding a few weeks ago in a recent Chelsea game. So, of course, Chelsea came through a very tough test against Juventus. In fact, with flying colours by winning 4-0. And it was so easy for Chelsea that night, but in midweek. But tonight, it's been very difficult for them to break down David De Gea. He looks really inspired, and I think he really wants to do well here. Let me just recap the teams. Mendy, Rudiger, this is Chelsea's team. Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, Chalobah, Alonso, Jorginho, Loftus-Cheek, Reece James, Timo Werner, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Hakim Ziyech. For Manchester United, it's De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Bailly and Telles. And then it's Fred, Matic and McTominay in the midfield. And it's Bruno Fernandes playing a sort of an attacking midfielder, rolling behind Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho. Between them, hardly had a kick in this first half. We just remind you the substitutes for Chelsea: Kepa, Christensen, Azpilicueta, Barkley, Pulisic, Niguez, Mount, Havertz and Lukaku, Henderson, Jones, Dalot, Mata, Lingard, Van der Beek, Ronaldo, Martial and Greenwood are the Manchester United subs, as Ziyech makes a good run, but Eric Bailly is quickly across and Ziyech has actually kept the ball in. Tries to get his legs around the ball there. Jorginho has been penalised, or a Chelsea player has been penalised. Fred has gone down again. And it's not winning too many points with the Chelsea supporters. I can actually tell you here. Remember, alternate second half commentary of this Chelsea-Manchester United game across all the TCL platforms in case you have joined us late. United have been very defensive in this opening 45 minutes, but it's to be where they are now at 0-0, it's been far from plain sailing for them. But at the moment, they're holding in firm. They're doing okay, but I'm hoping that we get a goal in this second half because we've got a very good record. I've got a proud record of doing live games here. He might get a chance here now. It's Werner shoots right-footed, but it's charged away. How he could do with a goal to get his goal-scoring ratio up. That looked a foul on Reece James to me, and now I'm not surprised that the yellow card's coming out there. It was a stupid challenge, really, by Marcus Rashford, who's showing a bit of frustration there for me. Really was a frustrating challenge, this. The ball was there to be won, and he went in very hard on Chalobah, as it turned out. A really silly thing for Marcus Rashford to do. He's a good lad and a good lad to be with, but when he does something as stupid as that, therein lies the problem for Marcus. He's as I say, a nice lad off the field, but he is guilty of making decisions like that can cost teams games and things like that. So problems mount up here as James and Alonso are the two-man committee for this free kick. Can Chelsea provide something from this free kick? Let's just see then. We're just having one or two issues at the moment, but hopefully we'll get those sorted out soon. And apologies here, we seem to have lost the feed, which is quite unfortunate, really. But we'll stick with you. I think we've got it back. I think yes, we have. And United have just scored. United have scored, and it was from that free kick, incidentally, which led to the goal. This is how it happened. What a time for the feed to go down, but it was a United attack and it was a mistake by the defender. And United had 2 against 1 and all they had to do was make sure that they beat Mendy, and they did, and it was a brilliant finish. Here it is again from the other angle. Ball up forward and the defender here completely lost it. And it looks as if Sancho has scored here for Manchester United. He has. So Sancho has scored. Sancho scores for Manchester United. And against all the odds, Michael Carrick's team are in the lead. Jadon Sancho has been under so much fire, has just scored the goal for Manchester United. This really now puts the cat amongst the pigeons. It's Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1 now. A turn up, quite frankly, for the book. And Chelsea have done about 95% of the attacking, have been done on the counter-attack by Jadon Sancho, and it came from a mistake by the defender. And Chelsea, unbeaten in their last 5 games with 5 wins and a draw, now have to come from behind. And this news will be received very favourably on the red half of Merseyside, by the way, because Liverpool will be, even though they're not renowned for liking Manchester United that much traditionally, they will be cock-a-hoot with this news. Well, Jurgen Klopp will certainly be, because it means now that the gap might just stay at a point at the top of the Premier League. Now, this is an important moment in the season, but it's Jadon Sancho with the goal for Manchester United. Well, this really has put the cat amongst the pigeons. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1 then. Here's James now for Chelsea, looking to get Ziyech in behind. Oh, Werner rather in behind. Werner's cross charged away. United now have something to cling on to. This is a real turn up for the form books here. United having lost 5 out their last set, when we lost 4 out their last 5. And it was a long ball forward from Fernandes that caused all the trouble. It was a mistake. I think it was Thiago who made the mistake. And Sancho's just got one-on-one with Mendy. He couldn't, and he just lashed it into the right-hand corner, and he sent the jubilant scenes here at the shed end away to my left-hand side. And United fans are in heaven, and he could break again here. Fernandes now down the left-hand side. Referee has penalised a Chelsea player. Reece James is going to be booked now. Chelsea, having done, as I say, 95% of all the attacking. Well, he's tricked Rashford there. That's silly. That's silly there. 2 England colleagues there on each other. That's a bit silly, really. But Chelsea's world is unravelling here. And Thomas Tuchel, whose team for so much of this game were in complete control, have now been undone by the classic sucker punch from Jadon Sancho. This is Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side for Manchester United, who lead, would you believe it, 1-0, if you've just joined us. Manchester United, without a manager, are leading 1-0 at Chelsea. This is no joke. This is an absolute turn-up. And Paul says, very sloppy error at the back. United took their chance, though. And Chelsea have had their chances of not taking them. And here's Rashford now for United, attacking that goal to my left, as I say. In towards Fred. Fred now keeps possession. Finds Alex Telles. And this is a United side that hasn't got Ronaldo in it. And he's on the bench. And there's no Maguire because of suspension. McTominay now has possession. Right-hand side of the D. And it's back to Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United here looking for this second goal, which would give them a huge cushion. Cross comes in from McTominay, knocked away by Thiago, who made that mistake, which led to the goal scored by Jadon Sancho. Michael Carrick, no shine of emotion from his face, but he'll be happy inside, I'm sure. Thomas Tuchel inside, I'm guessing, will be fuming. 1-0 to Manchester United on the TC Hub, JB Sports, JDAC Football, Storm FM, TC Hub 2 and Periscope, Twitter and Twitch. Chalobah now for Chelsea, down the right-hand side, gets the ball down. Can Ziyech find a man? It's Loftus-Cheek, and he's got a man over to his left-hand side, and he couldn't find him, and it was Werner, and it came off a defender, and it's a corner kick to Chelsea, who trail 1-0. 10 minutes into the second half here. Better from Chelsea. It was a ball from Chalobah which got Chelsea on their way. And really, it just needed to be... It was too telegraphed, that pass. Now, can the corner from Alonso prove to be a deadly weapon as it comes in towards the near post? And there's a little bit of a crowd seeing the ball hooked away. I think there's a United player gone tumbling once again. And I think we've got another Chelsea corner, so it's another Chelsea corner. Plenty of big men is in there, as you'd expect. Here comes the corner. De Gea goes and punches, gets something on it, and it comes out towards the edge of the area. And United have stolen it again, and they might be in for another one here. It's 3 against 3 if they play it right. And the ball is with Rashford as he plays it out towards the far side, and it's Sancho now. Sancho on the far side. Sancho goes back to Fred. Fred now tries to knock the ball in, and it just goes wide of the far post. 56 gone. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. And it looks like being a great day too for Manchester City too. As Mike also adds, but it could have been even better for Manchester United and for Manchester City and for Liverpool if United had played that 3-3 right. But they didn't really do much really with it. But Chelsea know they've got to pull men forward. But they're going to be susceptible to the counter-attack. And look at the change in the second half. 58% already in this first 11 minutes of the second half. In Manchester United's favour, they're having the better of the second half. But they've conceded yet another corner to Chelsea. This time on the left-hand side. Can Chelsea get that equalising goal? They would love it if they could get one now. It's an important moment in the game if they could try and get themselves an equalising goal. And it comes towards the penalty area. Header one. It'll come to Werner. Werner shoots and he shoots wide. And he did not deflect at all. Referee says goal kick. And Timo Werner, who needs a goal so desperately, had the chance then to put Chelsea level, right foot, and he's lashed it wide of the left-hand post. And away for Manchester United goal kick. Still Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1. But Werner will not get closer to equalising than that. And I just wonder if Romelu Lukaku would have been on the field. I'm just looking at him now on the bench on my monitor. And I'm just thinking, if it had been Lukaku, would he have got that on target, I wonder? I'm not trying to belittle Werner in any way because he's still a class act, the German. It just hasn't worked out for him at Chelsea. A big price tag, 50 million quid. It's always going to be a big price tag, whatever it is. But, well, it's probably proven a noose around his neck, I would hazard to guess. But it remains 1-0 to Manchester United. Amazingly here, Chelsea have had, as I say, 95, 96% of the play, and just haven't taken any of their chances. That's well and truly come their way. And here's Fred. Foul there by Chalobah, and the referee wants words again, and all the players are surrounding the referee. I think they want Chalobah booked, and I don't think that's a great play. It is a foul. I'm not disputing that, but let the referee referee. We don't need players surrounding, showing imaginary yellow cards and the like to get players booked and sent off and stuff. It doesn't sit right with me, to be quite honest with you. Here's an interesting stat. I'm just going to tell you from Russ, our host and producer and statistician, but we'll break off for a second because Werner's got the ball down the right-hand channel. And it goes to Hakim Ziyech. Ziyech trying to turn. Can't do so, and United stuff the danger out. And it's Bruno Fernandes coming away with it now for United. I will come to Russ's statistics now. In fact, I'll come to it now. Chelsea, 11 shots, 4 on target. Manchester United, 3 shots, 1 on target. And with that 1 on target, they've actually scored from it. And that was the breakaway goal scored by Jadon Sancho. That tells you everything in a nutshell. What you need to know, how this game has gone. I told you football was a funny old game. And it's another corner now to Chelsea. Lindelof has conceded another corner. We've hit the 60th minute here. It's all hands on deck now for United. A half an hour away if they can protect this slender lead. A half an hour away from winning this game. Alonso with the corner. In it goes towards the area. Can they get this equalising goal? It comes out to Ziyech who tries the shot. It comes away and it bobbles away almost ping pong style away towards Rashford. He's got away from Hudson-Odoi, who's back here defending for Chelsea, an auxiliary defender, but he did really well there. held up Rashford just enough so he could get enough Chelsea players back. But United have possession with Bruno Fernandes, the captain for the day. And at the moment, it could be a winning role, captain's role that he's playing right now. Is Jadon Sancho, the scorer of the only goal so far. Knocks the ball in. We've had just over an hour. Foul, free kick to Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes was fouled. And Cristiano Ronaldo is about to come on for Manchester United. Well, he's getting a pat on the back from his caretaker manager. Jadon Sancho with the only goal of the game. Free kick rather wasted. Straight in the arms of Edouard Mendy, who's had no chance on the goal that's gone past him. Badly exposed by his Chelsea defence. So Ronaldo about to enter the fray for Manchester United, who lead by a goal to nil. And it's Reece James now for Chelsea. On to Ziyech. Ziyech now in field. Here is Ruben Loftus-Cheek. How can Chelsea do something from him now? Loftus-Cheek just held the ball up too much. Ziyech gets it on the right. Can Chelsea get this equaliser? Not with crosses like that from Ziyech. That was a feeble attempt at a cross. Poor cross from the right from Hakim Ziyech. Just not been Chelsea's day today. And when teams like United do ride their luck, they do take chances. Still 1-0 to Manchester United. This is going to really close up the title race if it stays this way. But here's Reece James. He'll be trying his best to try and get Chelsea back into this game. Loftus-Cheek can't find Reece James. Just breaking down at the final first stage. Chalobah keeps it alive for Chelsea. They have it on halfway with Thiago, who made the initial mistake for the opening goal of the game. Ball will actually play towards James. Right hand side into the area it goes, and it's knocked away for a corner. Manchester United blaming on their nerves now as Alonso goes across towards the near side to take this next Chelsea corner. They've had a whopping 10 corners. Manchester United have had absolutely nothing. So all 10 corners in this game have all gone to Chelsea. Alonso takes another one, the latest one. It's come out towards the edge of the area. Now it comes to Alonso, who took the corner. Alonso freelords from the right-hand side towards the back post, headed back, but it's not been kept in, and it's a goal kick to Manchester United. We've had 63 and a quarter minutes, and still it's Manchester United leading here. And here is Cristiano Ronaldo, and he's replacing the goal scorer. Jadon Sancho's getting a good reception. Getting a standing ovation from the 2,500 Manchester United supporters who are here at Stamford Bridge this afternoon, or this evening rather. As we come up towards 10 minutes to 6 in Great Britain. Greenwich Mean Time. And Ronaldo at 36, still evergreen as ever. He's now on. And he's still got pace to burn even at that ripe old age. He really does. He's a top player, all right. Chelsea yet to make a change. And I'm sure one or two Chelsea supporters in amongst me at the moment. I say, come on, Tuchel, make some changes here. They've got Lukaku, they've got Kepa Christensen, Azpilicueta, Barkley, Pulisic, Mount, Harris, and Lukaku and Niguez. They've got a free kick here, which they've taken. And Chelsea now need to get on with it and pretty quickly, I would have thought. Rudiger now making a break. Too far in front of Alonso, who actually, to be fair, has kept that in play. Has found Rudiger, really over it, the pass. That's a foul. Free kick to Chelsea. McTominay has got to watch it. Oh, he's thrown the ball away, and if he's not careful, he will get the red card. Thought the referee was poised there. He only had the vanishing spray poised there. McTominay's got to watch his step. So another Chelsea set play. 20 minutes gone in the second half. Chelsea 0, Manchester United 1 on the TC hub. Surely one of these set plays has got to be made to be counted here from Hakim Ziyech. Surely. Here comes the free kick and it goes to the area and it's headed just wide. It may have been headed behind. And United, I think. Let's have a look. Did it come off a United player? It might have done. It's a bit of a crowd saying United say it was a goal kick. Referee says Chelsea corner. Alonso's going to take it from the near side. This must be their 12th corner, I'd make it, roughly. As the corner comes in, it's been nodded away for another corner. 2 in complete succession here. Manchester United are hanging on. And hanging on they are. And it was Bruno Fernandes who got it away, with Chalobah close at hand. So another corner it is from the far side this time. In it goes towards Thiago Silva. It doesn't come to Ziyech on the edge of the area. And United can break it again. It's 3 against 3. And what's the referee giving it? It's a penalty, I think. A penalty, I think. And then there's Rudiger and Bailey and Gold. It's all kicking off here at Stamford Bridge. The fuse is well and truly being lit now. And I think the referee has, I'm guessing he's pointing to the penalty spot. Yes, maybe. Maybe a penalty here. Wan-Bissaka, did he go through the back of him? At the moment, I'm having to guess this. And Thiago went down. The referee says penalty. Now VAR will check it. We've had 67 minutes here. Ronaldo is furious. But the penalty's been awarded by Anton Taylor. And VAR will be checking VAR today's Chris Kavanagh. And, well, we might have a bit of a delay, which is not going to help the Chelsea kicker. But Silva is down injured at the moment. As the fuse has been well and truly lit here at Stamford Bridge. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There we are, following the path of the board. I see out the corner behind, the referee giving a penalty straight away. It looked like a penalty. I had to hazard a guess it was a penalty. There's a bit of a crowd scene. I didn't really see that much, but I've seen a replay. It looked like a tackle from behind, and I think the decision's going to stand for a penalty. VAR have checked it, and they're okay with that. So Chelsea have got a penalty. It looks a fair enough decision, I have to say. So Jorginho, the Italian, who missed a couple of crucial spot kicks in there for Italy, has a chance now to make one count for Chelsea from 12 yards. We've had 68 minutes here at Stamford Bridge. Referee just adding to proceed is telling the goalkeeper to stay on his line at all times. Now he'll strut back and blow the whistle. Jorginho will hit this right-footed against David De Gea. Jorginho runs up, strikes it right-footed, and sends the Gea the wrong way. The ball goes in the left-hand corner, and Chelsea get themselves the equaliser. The leaders are back in it, and it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka who has to pay the heavy price for his moment of madness. He didn't get any of the ball in that melee, and the referee spotted it superbly, and the penalty was beautifully dispatched. Just watch Wan-Bissaka inside the penalty area. He fouls Thiago there from behind, and what a spot that is from Anthony Taylor. Gets none of the ball because actually Thiago gets the ball. Wan-Bissaka kicks his back leg. That's a penalty. The referee was right. And it's one apiece. And Paul James agrees. And the league leaders are out of jail, but they deserve to be out of jail. They've been the better side. And now it's all hands on deck again for United. It's Ziyech now. The status quo is restored. And here's Reece James now on the near side. He's got plenty of chance to side up across. He forces another corner of Fred this time. And Stamford Bridge, it's an awash-with noise. 1-1. Corner to Chelsea. Must be their 14th in this game, surely. Here's Alonso with it towards the near post, headed away. And the ball not back into the danger zone. United just about doing enough and hooking away as far up the field as they possibly can. Fred is the furthest man forward. And here's Callum Hudson-Odoi. 20 minutes to go. And the fuse has well and truly been lit here between two great Premier League rivals. United were leading early in the second half for a Jadon Sancho goal on the counter-attack. He since went off to be replaced by Ronaldo. And then Wan-Bissaka stupidly gave away a penalty by going through Thiago in the penalty area. What a good spot that was from Taylor, the referee. Here's Werner now. Jorginho, who dispatched the penalty with Subapong, now has the ball. McTominay goes into the back of him, and remember, McTominay's got to watch his mouth. Oh, he's going to get involved, and if he's not careful, he won't get the second yellow card. The fuse has well and truly been lit. Corners 13 to Chelsea, none to United. I thought it might have been 14. I was counting them all up in my head. Russell, host, producer, and statman, Gilbert Shaw of the TCR, reassures me it's 13 corners to Chelsea and none to Manchester United. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I don't think the corner number 14 will be very far coming the way this game's going so far. Anyway, here comes Chelsea in possession. It's Hakim Ziyech now. Ziyech getting the ball through, and Werner might be getting the clear. It's Timo Werner. The angle died on him. He's trying to knock the ball back, and he's done so magnificently. It comes to Loftus-Cheek. Loftus-Cheek hits the defender. And the ball comes back out to the far side. Chipped in there towards James. James heads it back into the edges on the ball. He comes in from Ziyech. And over the top he goes, and wide. He sliced it badly wide, and it's Chelsea here who are asking all the questions. Goal kick has been given, I think, to Manchester United. Tell you what, Thomas Tuchel must be the coolest man in the house. My word, what a thrilling second half we've had here. And Romelu Lukaku is sat on the bench and not having played a one jot in it. But will Tuchel now play his cards? He's going to, United are thinking of bringing on Jesse Lingard, I think. He's going to take his bib off and his top off and tracksuit top off and get ready to go on. So it looks like we're going to see Jesse Lingard come on. The man who hasn't had too many chances since returning from West Ham last season on loan, where it was a phenomenal success, and there's been talk about him going to West Ham in the January transfer window in just over a month's time. Of course, there was reports that James Tarkowski was going to be a subject of a £7 million bid for West Ham, which I think is far too little, by the way. And that's a different story. But James has hurt himself now. Tell you what, Mr. Taylor's got to have eyes in the back of his head here. He's trying to referee well. I've got to say, I've criticised Taylor in the past for some misdemeanors in his career, but I tell you what, that spot to give the penalty there, he had better eyesight than me, and I've got to concede that to Anthony Taylor. That was a good piece of refereeing. It was the right call in my opinion. I haven't seen the replays, and VAR backed him up 100%. What a good decision that was. And it's got Chelsea into the game. And here's Fred now. Ronaldo making a dash down the left. And so was Rashford through the centre. He picks Ronaldo out. Now, left-hand side. Ronaldo back to Fred. They're clear offside, Chelsea. Well, one of the substitutes certainly did. He was in line with the play. It's a corner anyway. And it's United's first. I can actually categorically tell you that's the first corner that Manchester United have had. And it's taken them nearly 74 minutes to get it. 74 minutes. Would you Adam and Eve it? That's the first corner of the game. Chelsea 13 corners. United, they're first. And it's Tellez is going to take that corner. Can United get their noses in front? In it goes towards the penalty area. Oh, there were two United players going at it for the same time. And I just wondered if he'd have dropped to one of them, would he have had a free shot at Juan Mendy's goal? Well, we're going to see Jesse Lingard now. Almost a forgotten man at Old Trafford these days. Up until two and a bit years ago, he was an England regular under Gareth Southgate. But I'll tell you what, he's still got the skills. He's still a good player, Jesse Lingard. He's an amazing player. But such is the competition at Old Trafford these days. It's very hard to get yourself established, really. Because with the likes of squad rotation and the like, it's very difficult to hold down a regular first-team slot at Old Trafford these days, such as the strength and depth of the squad, despite everything that's happened to it this season. Certainly in an attacking sense, anyway. United still holding on in there, but despite not having Varane or Harry Maguire in their squad, Maguire due to suspension, Varane due to injury. It's been very, very good defensive display, but Wan-Bissaka let the side down there, conceded that sloppy penalty there when he fouled Thiago. There was no doubt he caught his back leg as Thiago was hooking the ball back towards the edge of the penalty area. Hudson-Odoi now to Alonso. Alonso first time cross looking towards Werner inside the United penalty box. McTominay hoists it out, but not very far. And Jorginho feeds Alonso. Now the Spaniard into Callum Hudson-Odoi, the Englishman. He's had a good game today, Callum Hudson-Odoi. But Jorginho there, a little bit guilty there, giving Bruno Fernandes the ball. But what a good play, bit of play there from Thiago. And Bruno's got in very hard. And the yellow card is out for the Portuguese. It's going to be a yellow card for Bruno Fernandes. Well, the fuse has well and truly been lit here at Stamford Bridge this afternoon. Went in one-footed. The ball had gone. And he caught the man quite comprehensively. No doubt at all in my mind that was a Chelsea free kick and a booking. It had to be a bookable offence, surely. It just had to be. And that's football. Football in its more pure sense. And looks like Rashford is going to come off for Manchester United. Jesse Lingard is going to take his place in the lineup now. As we now come towards the business end of the events here at Stamford Bridge, and what's been a terrific game. There's going to be a triple change here. Pulisic, Alonso's off and Bounce on. That I can tell you. And we'll try and figure out the other sub, because we're having one or two technical faults again with our with the monitors. So Ross might be able to help me out here with the subs here. If he could do that for me, that would be terrific. As I say, we're having one or two technical difficulties, so apologies there. Hudson-Odoi has actually been placed by Pulisic. I can now tell you, we're into the last 13 minutes for injury time. 1-1 at Stamford Bridge, but the fuse has well and truly been lit here. And it's been a terrific watch. There is no two ways about it here as we go towards the business end of this thrilling Premier League game, the final one of the weekend. Only nine matches played out the 10. Burnley Spurs was called off earlier today. Ziyech towards the penalty. Werner shoots on. He breaks away, and Ziyech now takes possession, and it comes down to James who shoots, and he shoots wide. Timo Werner so near, but yet so far. Looked as if the chance had come to him there. It deflected away. It came, I think, to Werner a second time, then to James, and then James lashed it wide, but not for one glorious minute that Timo Werner was going to make himself a Chelsea hero. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka got his foot in and denied him right at the very last second. Alonso Hudson-Odoi off, Pulisic and Mount on. So that's been confirmed by Russ. Thank you very much for that, Russ. That was very good of you to do that for me. Anyway, 1-1 is the score if you've just joined us. And we're now 11 minutes away from the end, plus stoppage time, of course. Ball knocked away by Rudiger. Out towards halfway. Chelsea now have made changes, but the main man, Lukaku, is not on the field. One each. There is still time for a winning goal here, folks. And who knows what might happen here. It's been a terrific game of football. Keep the comments coming in. Who do you think's going to win this game? Keep your comments coming in on all frequencies and all channels, YouTube channels. As the ball now is with a chance here for Chelsea. Shot came in. And it was Hakim Ziyech again with a right foot effort, which was well repelled by David De Gea. But Chelsea looked the more likely winners. Mind you, we said that in the first half, and look what happened there. Ziyech we just see Ziyech on a replay there, just hit the right foot shot down De Gea's throat. So 10 minutes to play, just under now. We've had just over 80 minutes. Chelsea won, Manchester United won at Stamford Bridge. And we're going to see Lukaku. Lukaku's going to come on. And this now adds to the fire, more fuel to the fire now. Romelu Lukaku, presumably I would have thought for Timo Werner. Well, he's had his chances to the German, but he just hasn't been able to take them. Rudiger now bursting down that far side. Rudiger now, he must have run about 40 yards down that left-hand side. And now the cross comes in towards Pulisic. He kicks it in beautifully, Pulisic. Now then, Pulisic, the American. Ball hooked into the penalty area, hooked away. Comes to Jorginho, then the shot back in and over the top from Reece James. Might have just legged it over the top rather than shot over the top. I think he might have caught it with his leg. But now, with 81 minutes gone, Romelu Lukaku is about to enter the frame, and the Chelsea fans can sense if he gets an opportunity, he may well invariably score. Lukaku comes off, and Werner is being replaced. As predicted, Paul says it's looking like Chelsea will be the most likely to score, but they haven't taken the chances and United could steal one. Yes, that's a very important point you make, Paul. It could happen, but at the moment, Chelsea looking the more likely winners. But as we say, football is a funny, funny old game. Still one apiece if you're with us here on the TCM, JB Sports, JDAT Football, Storm FM, which celebrates 10 years on the air, incidentally. So a big well done to Mike Hardiman and his crew down there at Storm FM. And Mike will be celebrating 10 years on their actual website later on. Check that out if you can, stormfm.com, the actual website. Nice mix of music and football for you. And of course, we're on Periscope, Twitter and Twitch and TCM2 as well. 1-1 is the score with 82 on the clock. And it's Loftus-Cheek now for Chelsea, the big, tall, burly figure. Pulisic is a bit more of a slightly smaller figure, if you know what I mean. Chelsea looking for this winning goal. They've got the ball on the far side here. Gonna have no voice left at the end of this. Trevor Chalobah has it. Chalobah uses Pulisic. Pulisic back to Chalobah. Now Pulisic. Chalobah just being played exclusively on the right-hand side here at the moment. One has got to say. Round the corner it goes to Mount. Mount will measure across and it's turned out for a corner off Eric Barry. Excuse me. 7 minutes rather to go. I'll read another couple of messages that have just flooded into me in the com box here at Stamford Bridge. But it's a Chelsea corner to see out first, and it's Hakim Ziyech with it. And it goes towards the penalty area. Header one. It was over the top. Loftus-Cheek, it looks like, got above everyone else in the crowded 6-yard area and headed way over the top for a goal kick to United. So some more reads going on. I don't think it's from that one. It's two from the private chat. stormfm.org.uk. That's the website you need for Mike's 10-year. Mike Hanneman will be presiding over a 10-year anniversary show tonight. So join him if you can on Storm FM. And you can also get your requests in as well, I'm told. Ball out of play. Lukaku can't keep it in. Throwing to Manchester United. About 5 yards from the edge of their own penalty area. So 6 minutes to go, plus injury time. And I've got to choose a TCM man of the match as well, of course, sponsored by Commentary Services. I'm saying this is going to be a very tight decision, I think, in terms of who might get it. Anyway, here's Jorginho sweeping the ball out towards Reece James, who's now gone towards the right-hand side. James turns his man nicely, gets the crossing towards Lukaku, who just can't grow enough. And heads it just, and the ball goes agonisingly past the post for a goal kick. And of course, Russ is the sports reporter at Storm FM. He likes to boast about these things, doesn't he? He's a jack of all trades, is our Russ. Hence why we defended him last week from all the criticism he so sadly had. And it's nice that you're giving both me and Russ a bit of respect this afternoon, whilst we're bringing you the best in alternate commentary here on the TCM. Here comes Lukaku now. Property possibly on a mistake. James has it far side. James now, will he cut his side? He goes down. The referee doesn't want to know. No foul there. Fernandes now carries on for Manchester United. Wan-Bissaka who gave away that penalty. He has it on the far side. 1-1 is the score if you're just joining us with 4.5 minutes left to play. Jorginho wins it. Ziyech is away on the right-hand side. The far side as I look. Ball back inside to Jorginho, who scored the penalty. Reece James now has it. Now Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Thiago now joins the attack. Ball out towards Mount. And Mount measures across, looking towards Lukaku. Headed away once more. I've got about 2 minutes to think of a man of the match here, and it's very hard for me to decide right now. Here's Chalobah now for Chelsea. You go to either one from either side. It is pushes into Loftus-Cheek. He's inside the area. Loftus-Cheek, can he keep it in? He'll take a corner for that. Yes, he will take a corner. 4 minutes to go. Can Chelsea snatch victory? They were trailing at one stage during the second half. This is their 15th corner. 15th corner. Manchester United have just had one. So, what's going to happen here? It's going to be Hakim Ziyech to take it. Near side, in it goes, left-footed, swinger. Here comes missing it. It's all across. Lukaku can't get on the end of it, and now Ronaldo now shrinking away, but Thiago's across and does really well. Gets it back to Edouard Mendy. Looks like for a split second, but he's been given away by Mendy to Fred. And Fred can chip the keeper, but he chips it straight down his throat. Oh, dear me. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to get man of the match. It's just to and fro from end to end now. But I'm going to have to choose one shortly. And now it's Chelsea's turn to come forward. What more drama is going to be left in this game? Jorginho now. We've had 2 brilliant goals in the second half. So at least my unique record of not having had a live 0-0 for the TCO is still going to be intact. Will it carry on in the Merseyside derby? That's what you'll next hear from me. That's going to be live at around about 8 o'clock on Wednesday night, 8:15 kickoff. I should also tell you we'll have updates as well of the ending of the 7:30 games. And of course, we'll have a full update, of course, of the game between Manchester City and Aston Villa. In fact, Aston Villa against Manchester City. Van der Beek is replacing Bruno Fernandes. As Manchester United now look to shore things up now in the remaining 2 minutes that remain. And it looks like Fred is I think Fred has got some instructions there. And he's chucked them away. It's a pretty foolish thing to do if Chelsea players get hold of that. That could spur them on a bit. And we got a comment here which will just come in. Ryan Francis says, high tempo game. Absolutely right, Ryan. The second half, it's really kicked off big time. Here's Mam now into the area. Lukaku back to goal. Has to get it out. Ziyech had to get it out from under his feet. He shoots and it hits a couple of United bodies. Chelsea half-heartedly appealing for a handball. Never going to be given in a month for Sundays as the United player gone down. And well, for the first time in about 6 or 7 minutes, she got a bit of respite. Hit McTominay. Brave block to deny Ziyech, actually. And he's still down on his arches. Right, anyway, we've got to choose a man of the match, haven't we? A player of the match. And I'm going to give it, and it's going to be a tough decision because there's a number of really outstanding candidates. But I've got to say, for work rate and energy and effort and everything else that goes with it, I'm going to give it... I'm going to give it to a Chelsea player, and I'm going to go for... I think I'm going to go... Oh, dear me. It's hard to call. I'm going to give it to... as we just see that it was Jorginho who, in fact, made the mistake. That's the goal scored by Sancho. But I'm going to give it... I'm actually going to give it to... let me think. I'm hooing and ahhing now. Who's I'm going to give it to? I think for work rate and endeavours, I think as we go into 5 minutes, I am going to give it to... Oh, dear me. I'm going to give it to Reece James. I think he's really played really well. So Reece James is going to get the man of the match. sponsored by Commentary Services. Looking at the attempts there, 22 attempts to 3 in Chelsea's favour, 6 on target to 2 in Manchester United. Attempts sponsored by Oracle Cloud, but it's Reece James who's our player of the match and associated with Commentary Services. He's had a good all-round performance, and I think he's very much the part today, as McTominay's just been seen to there by the medical staff, with obviously Anthony Taylor had a bit of time on at the end of time added on, as we've had 1 of the 5, but don't read too much into that, folks, because of course that first minute or so will have been wasted for that injury, so there will be a minute or so added on at the end of the 5 minutes, so I wouldn't hold your breath on it and finishing after 5 minutes of stoppage time. I think we'll play on to the 96th, 97th minute. We're going to have a drop ball as well, ladies and gents, as we go towards the end here at Stamford Bridge. 1 apiece, and now Thiago and Ronaldo arguing, and Ronaldo's got the booking, and he's sarcastically applauding there. And if he isn't careful, and if he doesn't shut up, he'll get the red one. Really stupid from Ronaldo. Out of a player of his vast experience and of his age and his temperament, I expect a bit better from him. I'm very, very disappointed he got the yellow card there. Petulance in the extreme. Manchester United, that's not how Manchester United players should be performing and behaving. That is ridiculous. Anyway, Chelsea have possession. We're now 2 minutes into the 5, but I imagine there'll be at least a minute and maybe a minute and a quarter further to over the 5. And Ronaldo is just onside here. Ronaldo is bursting into the area. He couldn't win it from here. Ronaldo, what a stop that is. What a great challenge. That was from Thiago. And Tuchel is going mad on the bench. And poor old David Coots the fourth official's trying to keep everybody insane down on that. Keep everyone sane. And I can understand where Mr. Tuchel's coming from there, because that looked suspiciously like Ronaldo was offside to me. And if this leads to a winning goal, then I think Thomas Tuchel will have worse to say at the end. 3 of the 5 minutes have elapsed. There's Chelsea fans who can't even look. Tuchel is now in his technical area. David Coote is now keeping a close eye on him. Anthony Taylor is now going to have a word with Thomas Tuchel, I think. And he's going to book Thomas Tuchel. More drama at the end of what's been a riveting encounter between 2 of the heavyweights in the Premier League. I tell you, these big head-to-heads are never dull, are they? Right, Alex Telles to take United's second corner. Can they, against all the odds, win it? It's Telles with the corner. Ronaldo almost got a free header in there. Wow, that would have been a turn up for the Bucks. Here's Telles again, left-hand side into the penalty area, headed away by the defender. Has it gone for a corner? I think it might have done. I think he's given a throw-in. It's a throw-in to Manchester United. We're playing 94 minutes. There'll be a little bit more extra added on for the McTominay injury, I would have thought. So we might have 96 rather than 95. Just in the off chance. Fred now has possession. Looks like it might just have to be 1-1. Both sides will have to settle for a point apiece. That's a foul there, surely, on Trevor Chalobah. And a free kick to Chelsea. 30 seconds of the allotted 5, but as I said, there will be a bit more to be added on for the McTominay injury. The most sensational thing in the last sort of 30, 40 seconds that Thomas Tuchel, the Chelsea manager, has been booked. Speaking out of turn, no wonder David Keane had a fight with his own, but you've got to say Tuchel may have had a point when Ronaldo was fractionally offside. And in fact, they've gone in the corner, and that's a foul on Van der Beek, professional foul. It's going to be a booking. Now the bookies are starting to tot up here at Stamford Bridge. Jorginho, the latest man in the book. The Italian is now booked. We play 5 minutes, but we're going to have at least a minute or 2 more here because of the injury to Scott McTominay at the end, which took at least 1 minute and a half by my calculations. And And what's the referee doing here? Is he booking somebody here for time wasting? Well, the yellow card was brandished yet again. I think it was to Eric Malley. It's been confirmed that anyway. 3 kick taken. United could actually win it. Why were the time wasted? I will not know. It looks as if they're going to settle for a point here. Or what are the... Wan-Bissaka's trying to take it to the corner. Why not have a go and win it? Van der Beek. They're just going to the corner. They've got a chance there. They've got men in the area. They're not even attempting to win it. That I find very hard to fathom and understand. We're playing 1 minute over the 5. And that's purely for the McTominay injury. Now they might as well have a go and win it. They've got nothing to lose. Chelsea win possession. Have we got one more attack left in this game? Pulisic will try and see if we can reload here. And it's Pulisic. He goes down. Chelsea get a free kick. Will there be time enough for it to be taken? They get on with it quickly. Here's Mount. Mount down to the Wolsey. Right-hand side. Seconds remain here at Stamford Bridge. Just seconds remain. Here's with a lovely reverse ball. Here's Pulisic. Stands the crosser. It's been volleyed over by Romelu Lukaku. And he caught it so well. He maybe caught it far too well. And it flies into the Matthew Harding stand for a goal kick. Looked as if we were going to get the pincher, but finish at the end. And he hits it over the Hare's crossbar. Oh, Thomas Tuchel. He sinks to his knees, head in hands. Lukaku, head in hands. He can't believe it. Rudiger, head in hands. And there we go. Surely that must be it now. What a game of football. What a second half we've had here, folks. And I hope you very much enjoyed everything. Hightam, what a chance. Good grief. Private chat. Rudiger hit it over. I did say that. As the final whistle has gone. So it's ended 1 apiece. Oh, what a game. What a game of football. I tell you what. The second half alone was worth the admission fee as well. If it was a one-sided first half, I think both teams deserve an Oscar for the way they attacked each other in the second half. There were some flashpoints. We saw Thomas Tuchel injured. Sancho had put United in front 5 minutes into the second half, and then 20 minutes from the end. A terrific spot from referee Anthony Taylor when he noticed Wan-Bissaka had taken out Thiago Silva from behind his side. The Man United penalty area. Definite penalty. Well spotted. VAR agreed. Jorginho equalised, and then in a mad stop, 6 minutes of stoppage time, we saw Thomas Tuchel booked for complaining to the fourth official or going completely mad with the advisement. And then at the end, Lukaku, the substitute, had the chance to win it on the volley, and he blazed it about 20 rows back into the Matthew Harding stand for a goal kick. And, well, there we go. Thanks, Jamie. Also, commentary said, Paul, well, it's been a pleasure to give it to you, but it looks like a point apiece, and they'll be the blue. But I tell you what, there'll be happy campers from the red half of Merseyside and the blue half of Manchester after this result, because Liverpool and Manchester City are now within biting distance. I think this could well become a three-way title race. Chelsea drop points here at Stamford Bridge. It's finished here. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1. Back to Russ.
Thank you very much, JB. Go and get a rest. Go and get some drinks. And go and rest your vocal cords, my friend. What a game in prospect, and what a game we've just witnessed. Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1, and results from the rest of today's games in the Premier League to tell you about, and I'll touch on what it means for the table. It finished Brentford 1, Everton 0 as well. It finished Leicester 4, Watford 2, and Manchester City 2, West Ham United 1. And in this game, Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1 is the results. Burnley, Tottenham postponed due to heavy snow. So what that means for the table and I'll start off and look down at the bottom end of the table. Burnley remain in the bottom 3 on 9 points, 3 points behind Leeds United, who just sit outside. Brentford up to 12th with that win over Everton earlier today. Everton remain in dropped down to 14th place. Leicester are up into 10th with their win. Watford remain in 16th on 13 points. Manchester United remain in 8th, level on points with Leicester, Brighton as well, a point behind Tottenham, who have a game in hand. Their game in hand is against Burnley. Wolves are 6th. They're a point clear of Tottenham, who sit 7th. 3 points behind Arsenal in 5th. West Ham are 4th on 23 points, level on points with Arsenal, just ahead of Arsenal on goal difference. Liverpool are 3rd on 28 points. Man City are 2nd on 29 points. And top of the pile is Chelsea on 30 points. What a season we are having so far in the Premier League. In the Bundesliga then the results finished RB Leipzig 1, Leverkusen 3. In Serie A, it's currently 1-0 to Roma. And what about this for a player to score for Roma, who Chelsea would have loved today to play for them. I would probably love them to score as well in Tammy Abraham. He was the goal scorer for Roma in that game. They're into the second half, 62 minutes gone. In that one later tonight in Serie A is Napoli versus Lazio. In the Eredivisie, all the games are finished there now. Erenveen and PSV drew 1 apiece in their game later. Vitesse Arnhem take on AZ Alkmaar. That's at 7 o'clock this evening. In the Portugal Premier Liga, it's currently 1-0 to Sporting Club de Portugal against Tondela as Maritimo beat Pacos de Ferreira by 2-0. Porto take on Guimarães at 8:30 this evening. In the Russian Premier League, CSKA Moscow are currently losing 1-0 to Zenit St. Petersburg in the 67th minute. In Scotland, I told you about that. Livingston lost 3-1 to Rangers, while City won 2-1, which means Rangers remain top on 29 points. Celtic second on 29. Rangers top on 33, should I say. Celtic second on 29. Arts third on 27. Dundee fourth on 25 is the top four. Fifth is Motherwell on 21. And sixth is Hibernian on 18 points. In the Scottish Premiership. In La Liga, current score is at half-time is Cadiz 0, Atletico Madrid 0. Real Madrid take on Sevilla later. Real Betis beat Levante 3-1, while Espanyol won 1-0 against Real Sociedad. And in the MLS later this evening, Sporting Kansas City take on Real Salt Lake at 8 o'clock. And at 10:30 is Philadelphia Union versus Nashville in the MLS playoffs. So that's all we have got time for this evening. Hopefully you've enjoyed your afternoon of football with Man City winning earlier against West Ham by 2-1, a late goal in that one for the Hammers. Wasn't enough from Manuel Lanzini after goals from Ilkay Gundogan and then in the second half of Fernandinho, who came off of the bench to score the second goal for Manchester City. And then this evening you've heard this afternoon or this morning, depending where you are, you had Chelsea 1, Manchester United 1. Jadon Sancho put Manchester United in front, but Jorginho's penalty was the difference to cancel the goal out for Jadon Sancho. And also, just want to say as well, late on, Antonio Rudiger could have won it for Chelsea when he fired over in the end. No Romelu Lukaku, as our commentator John B or JB or John Stuttard or John Boy, whatever you want to call him, said at the end of his commentary. Once again, thanks to Paul who listened, thanks to Ryan, and thanks to Mike, and thanks to anybody else who've tuned into our coverages on both of our matches this afternoon. And once again, that news from earlier in League 2 is that Stevenage have got a new man in charge. Paul Tisdale is the man in charge of Stevenage now. So, from all of the team here, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you in midweek for some Premier League and some Women's World Cup qualifiers. Good night.